130 countries had backed a plan to the proposed minimum global tax rate by the G7 last month. What effect do you see this having on the world economy and also the markets in general, I guess in shorter and longer term?
So I think in terms of that particular tax, the rate's pretty low, so it's not really going to bite, I think, in many places. But I think what's important about it is it signals a direction of travel, and it signals a degree of international cooperation that we just haven't seen before. So I think for that reason we shouldn't ignore it. It's something that should be very much on our radar. And again, it falls into that theme that I tried to outline at the beginning. Is are we moving into a new economic orthodoxy away from the old Reaganomics? So is the new world one of higher tax rates? Is the new world one of international cooperation when it comes to setting tax rates? You know, that would be a new innovation if it were right. And the globalization of companies and the reliance on services rather than goods trade, I think makes that cooperation, international cooperation, almost a necessary condition for a stable economic expansion going forward for the developed world. So yeah, I think taxes are going up. It won't just be corporate taxes. It won't just be this kind of global cooperation. We'll see, you know, tax rates moving as required for individual countries. But yeah, I think the trend is higher taxes, higher interest rates, higher bond yields, and that I think is going to mean different things for companies going forward. I mean, how do you see that sort of panning out?
Yeah, interesting investment dynamics so that you alluded to just now. I guess sort of particularly sort of relating to the first question that I asked around the interest rate as well. We've actually been, you know, particularly sort of as finance companies, we've been quite and also investors, we've been quite concerned with the prolonged low interest rate environment for quite a long time. And so while everyone I think everyone gets a bit nervous when there's a change, but actually that probably brings different opportunities. In terms of the tax rate, I think I agree with what you've said. The one thing that I would probably add is that well, first of all, I think again the decision makers are going to have probably quite a bit of a long road to implement this global minimum tax rate. I think that the 15% proposed was a minimum, so at least 15%. But I think they've already had quite a lot of pushback from certain countries. Now, I think if it does get implemented, and I think they're talking about timelines for 5 years or so to implement this, the impact likely, from my perspective, will be on actually some of the tech giants.